Time will always reveal someone's true character, and if you put that man in a position of power, his true character will be revealed. And let's just put it this way. He has all the money in this country. He's the wealthiest man in the country, and he wasted on f***ing rockets, man. Think about it, dude. He could actually help people with that money, but he don't give a shit about you. He's got all the money in the world to help you. It'd be a penny to him, and you would never have to work again. He don't give a shit about you, though. He wants to waste it on rockets and waste it on all these cars that suck.
If this was the only thing you ever saw from UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell, you'd think he's a working class champ sticking up for the average American by sounding the alarm on the existential threat our country's shadow president Elon Musk poses to everyone outside of the ruling class. However, just like he said, time reveals everyone's true character, and Mitchell is no exception in showing just how disgusting his true beliefs really are.
That's what I say about him hailing Hitler, hailing the Nazis. I really don't think that he was, because I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination.
And there you have it. By his own research, probably meaning Facebook posts, 4chan forums, private Discord servers, white supremacist Twitter pages, and any other online cesspool Mitchell sought to confirm his preconceived biases. And he's far from done here, by the way.
I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with. He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out that were destroying his country and turning them all into gays. They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes.
That sounds eerily familiar to the groomer and child abuse smears Republican officials and the right-wing media ecosystem have latched onto to demonize the LGBTQ plus community and their allies over the years, because it's nearly identical to the propaganda the Nazis used to justify violence against the LGBTQ plus community and, by extension, all other minorities who didn't fit into their demonic perception of a perfect society. No, it wasn't the amphetamines that turned Hitler into the rabid anti-Semitic racist monster he was. It was his false belief in the racial superiority of white so-called Aryan people. It's hard to believe that in the year 2025, we'd still have to explain why Hitler and the falsehoods he espoused are objectively evil, but this is exactly what happens when fascists are emboldened to show their true colors in all facets of society.
You know the books that everybody makes fun of Hitler burning? You know what the books was? Queer books. Hitler burned queer books because Hitler didn't want a bunch of queers destroying his nation. They can't produce children.
Again, doesn't this sound familiar?
This is very American. Banning drag shows is obviously very American.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
There you go. Living all back to hell where it belongs. That's right. Hallelujah. There you go.
Hey, Puppy True, how you doing there?
Got it.
There you go.
Y'all better give him some praise up there now.
Bigoted MAGA pastor Greg Locke held a literal book banning with his congregation back in 2022, throwing books like Harry Potter, Twilight, and anything else Locke considered evil garbage into the flames amid the Republican-led push to ban any book dealing with race and LGBTQ plus identity from school and public libraries. According to data collected by PEN America, an international nonprofit defending writers, authors, artists, and journalists from attacks on their free speech and free expression rights, book bans have skyrocketed since 2021, with over 4,000 unique titles banned just in the year 2023, 2024, that it being a school year alone. The ruling class knows the biggest threat to their power is an educated populace, so hijacking culture war issues to sow further distrust in education and academia as a whole serves their interests, especially considering how our public education system has been consistently crippled for decades now, with Bryce Mitchell serving as the poster child for our failing education system.
Hitler comes up and says, hey, I'm kicking the Jews out of here because they're killing us with interest. And then now that he lost the war, he's the bad guy. Now, he ain't perfect. I'm not a Nazi. I don't love Nazis. I don't want Nazis to win the war. I'm just saying they were in a bad spot and Hitler come to power.
Whitewashing and muddying the waters surrounding the genocide and the untold amounts of human suffering and trauma perpetuated by Hitler's Nazi party and their unjustifiable beliefs, at a minimum, means you're sympathetic to their cause. And if you have any sympathy for Nazis, you may as well just join them. Join them. Because you're doing their work for them. Mitchell tweeted out this laughably out-of-touch, cowardly, sad excuse for an apology after receiving backlash from this podcast, which, shockingly, was removed by YouTube for violating their terms of service. Nothing says, "I'm not a Nazi," quite like literally defending Hitler's actions and beliefs. And if you're wondering if he will get any punishment from Dana White and the UFC for being an out-and-about white supremacist,
I've heard a lot of dumb, ignorant in my day, but this one's probably the worst. Second of all, Hitler is one of the most disgusting and evil human beings to ever walk the face of the earth, and anyone that even tries to take an opposing position is a moron. That's the problem with the internet and social media. You provide a platform for a lot of dumb, ignorant people.
the irony of hearing Dana White reading off a script condemning Hitler while simultaneously cozying up to Musk and joining the board of directors at Meta isn't lost on us. But let's hear the rest of what Dana has to say.
I don't even, we're beyond disgusted. So
You should be beyond disgusted. But what are you going to do about it, Dana?
Does Bryce Mitchell face a punishment from the UFC for saying
that's
he
what
said?
everybody wants to hear about punishments. Free speech. I don't have to love it. You don't have to love it. You know.
I agree with that, the free speech sentiment. Is there a concern, though, right, if he goes out and wins a fight and gets a mic?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about this business. For all of you that hate Bryce Mitchell, you get to see him hopefully get his ass whooped on global television. I mean, what do you want me to say about it? That we're talking about here. And I could probably go on for 10 minutes talking about how dumb Bryce Mitchell is. But guess what? Bryce Mitchell has a podcast.
I believe this was episode 1.
What a way to start. But that's the world that we live in now. Dumb people, people who are really stupid and really ignorant, can have a voice. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to like it.
Throwing your hands up and completely dismissing Mitchell's comments as a simple issue of free speech and a difference of opinion is the type of attitude that emboldens and galvanizes these monsters even more than they already have.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.